Hi, I'm Erin, and this is the Swallow's Nest Homestead. Today, we're starting seeds. So I'm going to start by mixing up some potting soil and getting it nice and wet. Okay, so we've got this bucket of potting soil, and I've added some water to it, and you can see, hopefully, that it's pretty damp. It's wet enough that if I were to squeeze it in my hand, it would be maybe drippy, but water's not going to come running out of my hand. Well, as you can see, I've moved into the greenhouse, and yes, there is a brood lamp behind me. That's where the chicken brooder is, and because it's the only place we have to put it right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to create some soil blocks, and we're going to plant seeds in them. So here are the seeds that we started in February. Primarily, we start tomatoes and peppers. It's kind of our Valentine's Day tradition is to do that. There's a couple of artichokes in there as well. And more peppers and tomatoes over here. These were supposed to be onions and eggplant, but they look like maybe they didn't get enough water and they didn't germinate. So this is a soil blocker. It creates 4 blocks of soil with little divots in them to put seeds in. I got this one at Johnny's Seeds, and I can put a link to it down below. So let's go ahead and make some blocks. So there's our soil, potting soil that I mixed up with water earlier. It might be a little bit too wet, but we gave it a few minutes to soak up some of the water. Now to make soil blocks, when you put the soil in, or put it in the soil, you push down and rock it back and forth and twist it, and it's kind of hard to do it one-handed. But you want to make sure that all 4 blocks are full of soil. Okay, and that might be a little bit wet. It's kind of dripping out. We'll see. So now we'll come over here to our tray. Pull the handle, and there we have. So here we have 4 rows of soil blocks all ready to be planted. One of the reasons I like soil blocks is there's no container that has to break down like you do with peat pots. The seeds, when they germinate, the roots are able to go out of the block, and that's one of the ways you know it's time to either pot it up or get it in the ground. But because they aren't confined by a pot, it is easier for those roots to take off into the soil once they're planted as well. Okay, so today I'm going to start some ancho peppers. These should have probably been started in February, but the ones that we started didn't germinate. So I'm trying again, hoping maybe I can get some to germinate and we can get a jump start. So by starting a row, 4 plants is probably plenty. I'm going to put 2 seeds per block just for safety's sake, because these are seeds we saved ourselves. I have no idea what the germination rate is on these. So if we have extras, great. If we don't, no harm done. Okay, so I moved the flat tray with the soil blocks on it into the heat mat, which is here. I plugged in the heat mat, and this will help keep temperatures, especially at night, so that they'll germinate faster. And once they've germinated, then we'll take them off the heat and move the tray off the heat mat. So this, I put a cover on. That helps hold in the moisture and allows the condensation to form on the top of the lid, which then drips down. It just makes it a better, more suitable environment for them to germinate in. Since we happen to be walking by, stop and show you our chicks for this season. We have 9 partridge rocks, which are a relative of the barred rocks. but they're redder in color. This is the biggest one. I think we may have a rooster on our hands. But they are loving being outside. They get to eat grass and bugs and learn to scratch and get a little more room to move because they're outgrowing their brooder already.